Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. Well, I'm cooler because I dragged my fan into the kitchen. Never in my life was I willing to go without air conditioning. So since I'm going without air conditioning, I'm permitting myself to buy ice because I don't have really room in my freezer. And so it's so hot, you can see that my ice melted. So I hope everyone is doing okay, and I have some tasty diet Pepsi. And you might be thinking, Rhoda, I thought you were going to drink Walmart Diet Coke. And I am, and we'll get into that in a minute. But right now, I hope everyone is doing okay. There's some very worrisome events lately. Cold drinks really help. Okay, so I want to talk to you about, I was buying some food today. So you might be thinking, Rhoda, you have been buying food all year. Why are you still buying food? You don't need any food. That is asinine. What about all those poor people in China who don't have any food? Where is your social conscience buying all this food? There's starving people in the world. Well, we're going to go into that in 1 minute. And believe me, I have thought of that myself. Okay, so before I start, I want to introduce you guys to a concept, and it's a religious concept. But you don't have to take it in a religious way. You can just take it in the current events way. And the concept is the devil will always overplay his hand because he's full of himself. Because he was so out of control, he was cast down to earth out of heaven. It was impossible for him to control himself. So the devil will always overplay his hand. So let's look at some examples of this. And I have written a few down. Okay, example 1, Epstein. Okay, Epstein got himself totally out of trouble, even though he was totally and completely guilty. And what did he do? He just resumed his activities. And in fact, he was probably worse than ever. Finally, it got him locked up. Finally, it got him murdered, supposedly. We don't know for 100% because there was no videotape, at least that they're not releasing. So, the devil will always overplay his hand. Instead of just saying, I got away with it. I'm going to go slip off to little Jeff's and be praising, well, he won't be praising God, but being grateful that I got out of this hell. Okay, now, some examples of overplaying the hand, corona. It starts out as a virus in China, and it causes all kinds of devastation. It spreads all over the world, and it infects us all with the corona, and we have to be locked down, and it has really messed up our economy. Okay, we just so happen to be in a trade war with China where it started. So if we play it out that the devil always overplays his hand, then what should happen is an equivalent to Epstein should happen to China because the devil always overplays his hand. It seems that there's a possibility there might be some food shortages in China. There's evidence of that. Now, why that is not a good thing is because if we look to the China model, China is about 3 months ahead of us. At Christmas time, we were seeing evidence of the corona, and they continued to fly into the country, and they infected everybody. They infected the whole flipping world. But the devil always overplays his hand. I think we can see evidence of that in their culture. Okay, we see loss of jobs, a massive loss of jobs, which is going to cause a massive problem eventually. Right now, people are still being given money and unemployment and checks. But when that ends, the devil always overplays his hands. Loss of dwellings, evictions, a massive amount of evictions. This is not good, especially for the people who are evicted. So the landlords might be going like mine, oh good, well we'll just get someone else in here paying a higher rent, someone we like more, and we're going to be better off, and we're going to get more deposits, and. Well, the devil always overplays his hand. In comes the corona. Chances are perhaps 30% of the people are not paying their rent. Going back to people getting evicted. Okay, how about helpless old people in nursing homes? This is good for hysteria. We can't visit our loved ones when they're at their most vulnerable. Furthermore, you know, it is just like upsetting. That is the whole idea. The devil feeds off of hysteria and misery and emotional upset. So we see this in a massive scale and we say, wow, you know, that is bad. Well, yeah, he's bad. And so you might be saying, I don't even believe in the devil. Well, do you see any evidence of evil doing? All right. Now, we see hurricanes, massive hurricanes, 2 hitting at once. Hurricane Laura, there is no way for human survival. Well, that was pretty much true. If those high winds that were at a high level had dropped, you know, no one would have lived. But fortunately, that didn't happen. But that is another example of people, a hurricane is coming and there's no way to survive. You all will die. What is really, really upsetting is the people who didn't evacuate probably couldn't evacuate. Can you imagine the night those people went through? I can't even imagine. I've been through hellacious experiences in my life. They have given me, it's like you're cold and you're sweaty hot at the same time. It's the most awful experience. So in the end of times, they say these demons will be released. Well, what they feed on is human misery and fear. So we had evidence hurricanes. Fires, massive fires, burning everything like, you know, maybe some of our croplands, the floods as well, and tornadoes and lightning. All the devil overplaying his hand. Floods. There's floods in China causing a shortage of wheat. So where do they think they're going to come to get this wheat? Loss of crops. Yes, I could see that. Maybe a loss of crops. We had a loss of beef and pork last year due to the China, what do they call it? Virus. The China virus has caused a loss of pork and beef, resulting in a higher price, resulting in less food for people like them. The devil always overplays his hand. Okay, so that is a few examples. Now, no. My notes are not really good. That's okay. Okay, so now I want to talk to you guys about another misery. And that is that these shortages are causing a lot of misery. And this is a serious one too. addiction to addictive drinks like coffee. What's going to happen if there is a coffee shortage? They already say there is a coffee shortage. That the demand for the coffee far exceeds the amount of coffee available. A long time ago, all people had was tea, and then tea and coffee and alcohol. Okay, it's possible that the core issue in some of these shootings was trying to steal approximately $20 to get alcohol. I wouldn't doubt it. A lot of people in the self-help groups end up incarcerated solely because of drugs and alcohol. So I posted a video for you guys, quick and easy sourdough starter recipe, Cowboy Kent Rawling. After 5 days, you can drink that liquid and substitute that for alcohol. Would that be a good idea? Well, it would be better than getting yourself shot in the back or killed. Or you could use it for medicinal purposes. In the day they use whiskey. What if you don't have any whiskey? And then there's cola drinks and energy drinks. Okay, in January, if you were following me, I got very sick and I had to go to the emergency room, and I thought possibly I was having a stroke. But it also occurred to me that it was some kind of food poisoning or chemical. I went back through everything I had eaten, everything I had been drinking, everything that, every place that I had been, trying to figure out if I came in contact with a chemical. And tonight just before that, it occurred to me something I had been doing different was drinking a massive amount of the Walmart Diet Cola. So maybe there was something in that I was highly allergic to, and I'm not willing to take that chance. The other thing is there are addictive energy drinks. When they first started, I thought nobody's going to drink those. Was I wrong? Also, some of those energy drinks contain alcohol. I have seen people come in from the emergency room after consuming massive amounts of these energy drinks, and it almost killed them. Before they even got home, they were drinking them again. They're very, very dangerous, and they're very, very addictive. So, dangerous drinks. Okay, now. So, what we want to ask ourselves, is it possible we could be moving into a depression? Is that possible? Okay, today they said the feds bailed out the stock market. If you try to look that up, it will say, no, that is a Twitter rumor, and the feds have not bailed out the stock market. Okay, if people lose confidence in the stock market and start pulling their money out, that's going to be very, very bad. If the stock market is artificially propped up with currency that is inflated or valueless, that is not good. Also, if the bank systems start needing bailouts, that is very bad. So we're watching for that. We're watching for leading to a depression, a recession, a depression, a famine. We're watching China, and it's not looking good over there because the devil always overplays his hand. Okay, worsening unemployment rate. Can the unemployment rate get much worse? Yeah, it probably can, because it's possible a lot of it is underreported. Now, this is the one that is very scary if you're on a fixed income like I am, or if you're poor. Inflation rising, or hyperinflation. I think it was Venezuela, I'm not sure. they had some inflationary period when I think it was Venezuela, when the economy collapsed, and they said to people, why didn't you get out? And they said, well, we thought it was going to get better, and a bag of beans ran up to $40 a bag, for the big bags. So if you're unemployed, what you want to do now, in my opinion, is go to the food banks, go to the food pantries, get your welfare, get your WIC, do whatever you have to do and start piling your house up now, because when the hyperinflation hits, and it's going to, you don't have to be a psychic. Hyperinflation is going to hit us. And the hardest hit people are going to be the lower class and the poor. They're reporting there's, as of this moment, people going hungry, and I wouldn't doubt it. That's why I'm determined to do these videos. Declining in property sale. Okay, if no property is available because you can't buy it because there's not available, that is a decline in property values. We're watching for that. Okay, maybe, maybe it's not as bad as you think, but maybe it's worse. That's what we're watching. Increasing credit card defaults. If you can do anything else right in this recession, try to hang on to your credit cards. If you can't hang on to all of them, try to hang on to most of them, or hang on to one. I totally disagree with these people who say dump it all. What's going to happen is it's going to be hard to borrow money, and it's going to be hard to get credit. At one point, I was working in this low-end shop. This is a long time ago. I was 32. I was the only one that could go to the bank and cash my paycheck, and I cashed everyone else's paycheck. Otherwise, you had to go to cash places that cash your check, and they charge you so many percent. It's probably going to be a lot higher now. Another thing was, one time I went to this bank by my work, and they denied me access to a checking. I go, what's wrong with you? I'm in the system already. I was in a credit union. And they go, well, sorry, because they didn't like the looks of my paycheck. Then they sent me a letter, welcome to our bank. I go, screw you. But then what I didn't realize is there was problems with the paychecks. I found that out later. In essence, I was having to guarantee my paycheck in order to cash it. Okay, so now we're looking at three things. Stock markets. If the stock market crashes, you can pretty much bet we're probably going to head to a recession. So people on TV or people say everything is okay. Okay, maybe. Banks, we're watching the banks, and we're watching real estate. Those seem to be going pretty well, supposedly. So, now, okay, so why am I buying food? Let me see how many minutes are we at. Okay, you guys, I'm going to come back for another video because this one is going long, and I'll be back in a little while what food I bought and why. God bless you all. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you wouldn't mind, and God bless you all.